Wake up early, not because someone told you to, not because it sounds good in books, but because greatness demands it. While the world sleeps, destiny is awake, waiting for someone bold enough to meet it. The early morning is not just a time of day. It is a state of mind. It is the hour where excuses are silent and purpose speaks loudly. Those who rise before the sun gain something priceless. Control over their thoughts, control over their habits, control over their future. You see, success is never an accident. It is carefully planned in the quiet hours when distractions are absent and determination is present. When you wake up early, you declare war on laziness. You tell fear, "You do not rule my life." You tell your dreams, "I am coming for you." 1 hour in the morning, used with intention, can outperform 10 hours filled with delay and distraction. The early morning strengthens the mind, it sharpens vision, it trains discipline. The one quality that commands all others. Champions are not born in comfort. They are created in sacrifice. While others wait for motivation, you rise with decision. While others hit snooze, you build momentum. While others complain about life, you design it. The sun does not rise for everyone equally. It rewards those who are already standing. And remember this: the habits you repeat every morning quietly decide the life you will live loudly. So wake up early, not tomorrow, not next week. Wake up early today, because the world belongs to those who are awake enough to claim it. Every great achievement begins before the world wakes up. Long before the noise of the world begins, before excuses find their voice, before distractions demand attention, the foundations of greatness are quietly laid. The early morning is not just an hour on the clock, it is a proving ground where discipline is tested and character is formed. While the majority surrender to comfort, a few rise with intention. That single decision to wake up early draws a sharp line between those who dream and those who build. In those silent hours, the mind is clear, focused, and unburdened by the chaos of the day. There are no interruptions, no opinions, no external pressure. It is just you and your purpose. This is where plans take shape, where vision becomes sharper, and where resolve is strengthened. The early morning rewards those who seek control over their lives rather than reacting to circumstances. Success does not announce itself with sudden miracles. It is earned through small, consistent acts of discipline repeated daily. Waking up early is one such act. It may seem simple, but it carries enormous power. Each early morning is a victory over procrastination, a declaration that comfort will not dictate your future. When you conquer the morning, you set the tone for the entire day. Those quiet hours develop self-mastery. They teach you to do what must be done even when it is inconvenient. This habit alone begins to reshape your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who waits for motivation and start becoming someone who acts with purpose. Confidence grows, not from words, but from kept promises to yourself. While others rush through their mornings in confusion, you move with clarity. You have already invested in your growth before the day demanded anything from you. That early investment compounds over time. 1 extra hour a day, used wisely, becomes a massive advantage over months and years. It is not luck that separates high achievers from the rest. It is how they use their time when no one is watching. The early morning also strengthens the will. It conditions the mind to resist laziness and excuses. Every time you rise early, you reinforce the belief that you are in command of your actions. That belief spills into every area of life: work, health, relationships, and ambition. Discipline in the morning creates freedom throughout the day. Great achievements require focus. Effort and focus thrives in silence. Before the world awakens, distractions are minimal and energy is pure. This is the best time to think deeply, to plan boldly, and to act decisively. It is in these moments that ideas are born, strategies are refined, and confidence is built. Those who consistently wake up early begin to think differently. They stop blaming circumstances and start shaping outcomes. They understand that time is the most valuable resource, and they refuse to waste it. While others complain about a lack of opportunity, they create it before sunrise. Comfort has never created greatness. Progress demands sacrifice, and waking up early is one of the smallest sacrifices with the greatest return. It requires no money, no special talent, and no external permission, only a decision. That decision, repeated daily, changes the direction of a life. When you wake up early, you send a powerful message to yourself. Your goals matter. Your future matters. Your discipline matters. Over time, that message becomes unshakable belief. And belief, backed by consistent action, produces results. Every great achievement begins before the world wakes up, because greatness is built in silence, in discipline, and in deliberate action. Those who understand this do not wait for the perfect moment. They rise early and create it. Early morning builds self-discipline before success arrives. Long before recognition, rewards, or results appear, discipline must already be in place. Success never comes first. It is always preceded by habits that shape the mind and train the will. Waking up early is one of the most powerful of those habits because it demands action when comfort offers resistance. It requires you to move before motivation appears, and that is where true self-discipline is born. In the early morning, there is no audience and no applause. No one is watching. No one is praising your effort. It is a private moment between you and your commitment. Choosing to rise early in that silence strengthens your ability to act without external validation. You learn to rely on inner command rather than emotional impulse, and this quiet authority becomes the backbone of all future achievements. Discipline is not built through intensity once in a while. It is built through consistency every day. The early morning provides the perfect training ground for that consistency. When the alarm rings, you face a simple choice: obey comfort or obey purpose. Each time you choose purpose, you reinforce control over your impulses. Over time, this control becomes automatic, and what once felt difficult becomes natural. The mind is most honest in the early hours. There are no distractions to hide behind and no excuses to lean on. This is when discipline becomes real. You either rise or you don't. That decision strengthens or weakens your character. Repeated daily, it quietly shapes the person you are becoming. Those who master the early morning develop a powerful edge. They are no longer ruled by mood or circumstance. They act because they decided to, not because they felt like it. This ability to act without emotional dependence is what separates those who start from those who finish, those who try from those who succeed. Before success demands long hours, pressure, and responsibility, discipline must already exist. Early mornings prepare you for that wait. They train you to function effectively when conditions are not ideal. When challenges later arise, your mind is already conditioned to push forward instead of retreating. While others rush into the day unprepared, the disciplined individual has already invested in growth. The early morning becomes a personal advantage, a time to think clearly, plan strategically, and strengthen the mind. This daily investment compounds, creating stability and confidence that cannot be shaken by external chaos. Self-discipline developed in the morning spreads into every area of life. It improves focus, sharpens decision-making, and strengthens resolve. When you prove to yourself each day that you can do what is difficult, you begin to trust yourself. That trust becomes self-respect, and self-respect fuels ambition. Comfort delays growth, but discipline accelerates it. The early morning teaches you to delay gratification, to sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term gain. This lesson is essential because success always demands patience and persistence. Those who cannot control their mornings struggle to control their future. Over time, early rising transforms identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with consistency and start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That shift in self-image is powerful. When you believe you are disciplined, your actions align with that belief, and success becomes a natural outcome rather than a distant hope. Success arrives quietly, long after discipline has done its work. By the time results appear, the habits are already in place, the mindset already hardened, and the character already formed. Early mornings do not guarantee success, but success rarely exists without them. Early morning builds self-discipline before success arrives, because discipline is the foundation upon which every lasting achievement stands. Those who rise early are not chasing success. They are preparing for it. The mind is most powerful when the day is silent. In the absence of noise, the mind reveals its true strength. Silence removes distraction, pressure, and outside influence, allowing thought to move freely and clearly. When the world has not yet demanded your attention, your mind belongs entirely to you. This is the rare moment when focus is undisturbed and intention can be set with precision. Throughout the day, the mind is pulled in countless directions. Voices, screens, responsibilities, and opinions compete for attention, fragmenting thought and draining mental energy. In silence, that fragmentation disappears. The mind regains its natural rhythm. Ideas connect more easily, decisions become clearer, and confidence grows from within rather than from external approval. Silence does not weaken the mind, it sharpens it. It gives space for reflection and clarity. In those quiet hours, thought is deliberate instead of reactive. You are not responding to the world, you are preparing to shape it. This distinction is powerful. Those who think before the noise begins are far more likely to act with purpose once the noise arrives. The silent part of the day trains mental discipline. It teaches you to sit with your thoughts, to examine them, and to direct them. Instead of being controlled by impulses, you learn to command attention. This ability to focus deeply, even for a short time, strengthens mental endurance and increases effectiveness throughout the day. When the day is silent, the mind becomes honest. There are no distractions to mask doubt or fear, but there are also no external voices to amplify them. In this quiet space, you can confront your goals, your responsibilities, and your potential with clarity. Silence allows truth to surface, and truth is the starting point of growth. Many underestimate the power of thinking in silence. They mistake busyness for progress and noise for productivity. Yet the greatest breakthroughs often emerge from stillness. When the mind is calm, it can process complex ideas, solve problems, and generate insight with remarkable efficiency. Silence is not empty, it is full of possibility. The quiet hours also strengthen creativity. Without interruption, imagination flows freely. New ideas form, old ones evolve, and solutions appear that remain hidden in chaos. This is why those who value their mental performance protect moments of silence. They understand that creativity is not forced, it is invited through calm and focus. As the day grows louder, the mind becomes reactive. Decisions are rushed, attention is divided, and energy is scattered. But a mind that has already experienced silence carries its clarity forward. It becomes less vulnerable to stress and more capable of thoughtful action. The calm established in silence acts as a foundation for the rest of the day. Silence also builds inner confidence. When you spend time alone with your thoughts, you develop trust in your judgment. You become less dependent on validation and less influenced by opinion. This independence of thought is essential for leadership and personal growth. Those who can think clearly in silence can act decisively in noise. In a world that constantly demands attention, silence has become rare and therefore powerful. Those who intentionally seek it gain a mental advantage. They are not overwhelmed by information or distracted by urgency. They choose their actions deliberately and move with purpose. The mind is most powerful when the day is silent because clarity, focus, and discipline thrive in stillness. Those quiet moments are not a pause from progress, they are the source of it. When the noise eventually arrives, a mind shaped in silence is ready to lead, not follow. Winners command the morning, losers surrender to comfort. This single truth separates progress from regret. The morning arrives with a choice that defines the rest of the day. One path demands discipline, intention, and effort. The other offers warmth, ease, and delay. Winners understand that the morning is not meant to be negotiated with, it is meant to be commanded. Losers, however, allow comfort to decide for them, and in doing so, they hand over control of their future. The morning is the first battlefield of the day. It is where habits reveal their strength and character is tested without witnesses. When the alarm sounds, no one forces a decision. There is no pressure from the outside. The choice is entirely internal. Winners rise with purpose, not because it feels good, but because it must be done. Losers listen to comfort, convincing themselves that a few more minutes will not matter, unaware that these small surrenders quietly shape a lifetime. Commanding the morning does not require perfection, it requires authority over oneself. Winners do not wait for motivation. They move first and allow motivation to follow. They understand that energy is created through action, not hesitation. By taking control early, they build momentum that carries them through the day with confidence and focus. Comfort, on the other hand, is persuasive and patient. It never demands much, only small concessions. Sleep a little longer, start later, try tomorrow. Each surrender seems harmless, yet over time it builds a habit of avoidance. Losers are not defeated by lack of talent or opportunity. They are defeated by repeated obedience to comfort. Those who command the morning invest in themselves before the world makes demands. They think, plan, learn, and strengthen their bodies and minds while others are still negotiating with ease. This early investment compounds. It sharpens discipline, strengthens resolve, and creates an advantage that cannot be easily taken away. Winners know that comfort is earned, not indulged. They delay pleasure until effort is complete. They understand that growth exists just beyond discomfort, and the morning is the doorway to that growth. By stepping through it daily, they build resilience and self-respect. Losers confuse comfort with peace. True peace comes from progress, from knowing that you did what was necessary even when it was difficult. Comfort offers temporary relief but leaves behind frustration and regret. Winners choose short-term discomfort to avoid long-term dissatisfaction. The way you handle your morning reflects how you handle life. If you surrender the first hour, you are more likely to surrender when challenges appear later. But when you command the morning, you train yourself to take responsibility instead of making excuses. That mindset carries into work, relationships, and ambition. Over time, the difference becomes visible. Winners move with confidence because they trust their discipline. They have proven to themselves day after day that they can act despite resistance. Losers remain stuck in cycles of intention without execution, always planning but rarely building. Commanding the morning is not about waking up early alone. It is about taking ownership. It is about deciding that your goals matter more than comfort. This decision, repeated daily, shapes identity. You become someone who leads their life rather than reacting to it. Winners command the morning because they understand its power. Losers surrender to comfort because it feels easy. One choice builds strength, clarity, and momentum. The other slowly erodes potential. The morning does not favor anyone. It obeys only those who take control of it. 1 extra hour daily becomes a lifetime advantage. This simple truth is often overlooked because its power is quiet, not dramatic. 1 hour does not feel significant in a single day. It does not announce itself with immediate results or instant transformation. Yet when that hour is used with intention and discipline, it becomes one of the most powerful forces shaping a person's future. Great success is rarely built in sudden leaps. It is constructed through small, consistent investments that compound over time. Most people believe they lack time, but in reality, time is mismanaged rather than unavailable. The difference between average and exceptional outcomes is often found in how the first or last hour of the day is used. While others trade that hour for comfort, distraction, or delay, those who protect it for growth quietly move ahead. 1 focused hour each day allows space for learning, thinking, planning, and improving skills. It is an uninterrupted moment where progress is intentional rather than accidental. In that hour, ideas are refined, weaknesses are strengthened, and direction becomes clearer. Over weeks and months, that clarity builds confidence. Over years, it builds mastery. The power of 1 extra hour lies in its consistency. Used daily, it becomes a system. Systems are stronger than motivation because they do not depend on emotion. Even on days when energy is low or circumstances are difficult, that single hour continues to push life forward. Progress may be slow, but it is steady, and steady progress always wins. While others wait for large opportunities, those who use their extra hour prepare themselves to recognize and seize them. Skills sharpen, knowledge expands, and discipline deepens. When opportunity finally appears, it is not luck that creates success, but readiness developed through countless quiet hours of preparation. That extra hour also builds self-belief. When you repeatedly invest time in yourself, you begin to trust your ability to grow. You stop doubting your potential and start seeing evidence of improvement. This belief becomes fuel, encouraging greater ambition and bolder action. The lifetime advantage comes from accumulation. 1 hour becomes 7 in a week, over 300 in a year, and thousands over a decade. Those hours create a gap that cannot be closed easily. While others wonder how progress happens so quickly, the truth is that it happens slowly, 1 hour at a time. This hour is not about exhaustion or overwork. It is about intention. It can be used for thinking deeply, learning something valuable, building a skill, or strengthening the body and mind. When used wisely, it reduces stress instead of increasing it, because it brings clarity and control. Many underestimate the cost of wasted time. They do not realize that every unused hour is an opportunity surrendered. Those lost hours do not disappear. They accumulate as regret. In contrast, those who claim an extra hour daily accumulate growth, confidence, and capability. The greatest advantage of all is freedom. As skills grow and discipline strengthens, choices expand. Dependence decreases, options increase, and life becomes less reactive and more deliberate. That freedom is built quietly, long before it is visible. 1 extra hour daily becomes a lifetime advantage because it transforms ordinary days into extraordinary outcomes. It does not demand talent, money, or permission, only a decision. Those who make that decision consistently discover that the future is not something to wait for, but something to build, 1 hour at a time. Morning habits shape destiny, not luck. What most people call luck is often nothing more than the visible result of invisible routines repeated over time. Destiny is not a sudden event that appears without warning. It is the natural outcome of daily behavior. The morning, more than any other part of the day, holds the power to direct that outcome. How you begin the day quietly determines how you live your life. The morning sets the rhythm for everything that follows. Thoughts formed early influence decisions made later. Actions taken in the first hours create momentum that either carries you forward or pulls you back. When mornings are intentional, the day unfolds with purpose. When mornings are careless, the day becomes reactive. Over time, this difference grows into a permanent direction. Luck depends on chance. Habits depend on choice. Those who rely on luck wait for circumstances to change. Those who rely on habits change themselves. Morning habits, practiced daily, strengthen discipline and sharpen focus. They build a foundation that supports growth regardless of external conditions. The mind is most impressionable in the early hours. Before distractions and demands take over, thoughts settle deeply and shape attitude. A morning filled with intention builds confidence and clarity. A morning surrendered to delay and distraction invites confusion and frustration. Repeated daily, these patterns become personality, and personality shapes destiny. Morning habits also determine energy. The way you wake up, move, and think affects how you perform for the rest of the day. Intentional mornings increase mental and physical strength. Disorganized mornings drain energy before work even begins. Over years, this difference decides who advances and who remains stuck. Many people hope for opportunity while neglecting preparation. They wait for the perfect moment, unaware that preparation creates the moment. Morning habits are preparation in its purest form. They are quiet, unseen, and often uncelebrated, yet they build the readiness that opportunity demands. Discipline developed in the morning extends into every area of life. It improves focus, consistency, and self-control. When you master the morning, you prove to yourself that you can direct your actions instead of being driven by emotion or circumstance. This self-mastery is far more powerful than luck. Destiny responds to repetition. Small actions, repeated daily, carry enormous force. A focused hour every morning compounds into years of growth. A distracted morning repeated daily compounds into regret. The direction may be subtle at first, but over time it becomes unmistakable. Those who succeed rarely attribute their progress to chance. They understand that their results are the outcome of choices made long before success appeared. Morning habits created the discipline, clarity, and confidence that success required. Luck fades as quickly as it appears. Habits endure. They shape how you think, how you act, and how you respond to challenges. They determine whether you lead your life or drift through it. The morning is where these habits are formed and reinforced. Morning habits shape destiny, not luck, because destiny is built deliberately, not discovered accidentally. Those who take control of their mornings take control of their future. The sunrise rewards those who rise with purpose. Each morning arrives with a quiet invitation, not to everyone, but to those willing to meet it with intention. The sun does not simply rise to Ma. The passing of time, it reveals opportunity to those already awake and prepared. Purpose is what transforms an ordinary morning into a turning point. And those who rise with clarity gain far more than daylight. They gain direction. Rising with purpose means waking up with a reason that goes beyond routine. It means knowing that the first hours of the day are too valuable to be wasted on hesitation or distraction. When you rise with purpose, your actions are deliberate. You are not reacting to the day, you are shaping it before it unfolds. The early morning carries a unique energy. It is calm, undisturbed, and honest. In that stillness, purpose becomes louder and clearer. Without noise and interruption, the mind aligns with intention. Decisions are stronger, focus is deeper, and confidence grows naturally. This alignment sets the tone for the entire day. Those who rise without purpose drift into their day unprepared. Their energy is scattered, their attention divided. They move from task to task without direction, hoping that progress will appear on its own. In contrast, those who rise with purpose create momentum early. They build clarity first, then move forward with precision. Purpose transforms effort into meaning. Waking up early is not a sacrifice when it serves a clear goal. It becomes an investment. Each intentional morning strengthens discipline and sharpens vision. Over time, this consistency builds character and resilience, qualities that attract opportunity and sustain success. The sunrise rewards preparation. Opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. They favor those who are already moving, already thinking, already improving. Rising with purpose prepares the mind to recognize opportunity when it appears. While others hesitate, those with purpose act decisively. Purpose also protects time. When you rise with intention, you become selective about how your hours are spent. Distractions lose their appeal and procrastination loses its power. Time is no longer something that escapes unnoticed. It becomes a resource that is managed and respected. The habit of rising with purpose strengthens self-belief. Each morning becomes proof that you are capable of commitment. This trust in yourself builds confidence that carries into every challenge. When difficulties arise, you do not retreat. You respond with determination shaped by disciplined mornings. Success is rarely the result of one dramatic moment. It is the accumulation of countless purposeful mornings. Each sunrise met with intention adds another layer of growth, another step forward. Over years, these mornings create a path that leads naturally to achievement. Those who rise with purpose do not depend on motivation alone. They rely on decision and discipline. Purpose anchors their actions, even on days when enthusiasm is low. This steadiness creates progress that does not collapse under pressure. The sunrise rewards those who rise with purpose, because purpose turns time into progress. The sun rises for everyone, but its rewards are claimed only by those who are awake, prepared, and intentional. Those who rise with purpose do not wait for life to change. They rise and change it themselves. Early rising separates the ordinary from the unstoppable. This difference is not about the clock. It is about commitment. The ordinary wake when comfort allows it. The unstoppable rise when purpose demands it. In those quiet early hours, a choice is made that silently shapes the direction of a life. That choice determines whether a person will move with intention or drift with routine. Early rising is an act of self-command. It requires discipline before results, effort before reward. When the day has not yet placed its demands, rising early is a declaration that your goals matter more than ease. This declaration, repeated daily, builds an identity rooted in action rather than intention alone. The unstoppable understand that greatness is not created during moments of convenience. It is built in moments when effort is required and excuses are available. Early rising removes the shield of excuses. There is no one to impress and no one to blame. It is simply you honoring your commitment or avoiding it. While others ease into the day unprepared, those who rise early build momentum. They think clearly, plan strategically, and strengthen their skills before the world demands their attention. This head start compounds. Over time, it creates a gap so wide that it cannot be closed by sudden bursts of effort. The ordinary often wait for motivation. The unstoppable move first and allow motivation to follow. Early rising trains the mind to act without emotional dependence. This ability to act on decision rather than feeling becomes a powerful advantage in every area of life. Early mornings strengthen focus. Distractions are minimal, and energy is undivided. This environment allows for deep work, reflection, and growth. Those who use these hours wisely sharpen their abilities while others remain stagnant, mistaking busyness for progress. Consistency is what transforms potential into power. Early rising creates consistency because it establishes control over time. When you control your morning, you control your schedule. When you control your schedule, you control your outcomes. This control is the foundation of unstoppable progress. The discipline built in the early hours extends far beyond the morning. It shapes attitude, resilience, and confidence. Each early rise reinforces self-trust. You begin to believe in your ability to follow through, and that belief fuels greater ambition and stronger action. Ordinary lives are shaped by reaction. Unstoppable lives are shaped by preparation. Early rising is preparation in its purest form. It prepares the mind to lead rather than follow, to respond rather than react, to build rather than hope. Over time, the results become visible. The unstoppable move with certainty. They are calm under pressure and focused under distraction. Their confidence is not borrowed from praise, it is earned through discipline practiced when no one was watching. Early rising separates the ordinary from the unstoppable because it builds discipline, clarity, and momentum before the world interferes. It is not the hour itself that creates power, but the decision to rise with purpose. Those who make that decision daily do not merely move ahead, they become impossible to stop. Discipline at dawn creates freedom at dusk. Strong starts, line, expend it, and don't heading in 800 words. Discipline at dawn creates freedom at dusk. The moment you choose to rise early, when the world is still asleep and the day has yet to demand anything of you, you are making a choice that echoes far beyond the morning hours. Discipline is not about restriction, it is about control. By commanding your actions at the start of the day, you set a rhythm for every decision, every task, and every challenge that follows. The energy, clarity, and focus you cultivate in those quiet hours become the foundation of true freedom later in life. Discipline at dawn is not a mere habit. It is a declaration. It is a statement to yourself that your goals matter more than comfort, that your ambitions outweigh temporary ease, and that your time is yours to direct. Every early morning action, no matter how small, compounds silently, preparing you to navigate life with confidence, precision, and resilience. When you embrace discipline in the first hours of the day, you take control of your priorities before distractions appear. The mind is sharper, the body is rested, and energy is undivided. In this state, planning becomes deliberate, not reactionary. Decisions are guided by intention, not impulse. This clarity ensures that the momentum you build early carries you through the day. With efficiency and purpose, those who rise with discipline understand that freedom is not given, it is earned. Freedom does not come from IDL, finesse, or luck. It comes from preparation. By investing effort when it is least convenient, you remove the chaos, stress, and indecision that often define the later hours. By dusk, while others are scrambling to complete tasks they neglected, you experience the liberation of having acted, accomplished, and controlled your day. Discipline at dawn also strengthens character. Each morning you honor your commitments, you reinforce self-respect and self-trust. These qualities extend beyond work and productivity. They shape relationships, decision-making, and resilience under pressure. The inner strength developed in those early hours cannot be borrowed or faked. It is built gradually and consistently, and it forms the foundation for true personal freedom. Time is the most valuable resource, yet most people squander it during the hours that matter most. By contrast, those who cultivate early morning discipline multiply the value of every hour that follows. The calm, focused, and intentional hours of dawn create leverage that turns minutes into mastery. Tasks that seem overwhelming later in the day are completed with ease, and opportunities that require presence, preparation, or insight are seized naturally. Discipline at dawn also removes the power of procrastination. When you act first, the momentum carries forward. You no longer wait for the perfect moment, for motivation to arrive, or for conditions to be ideal. You set the standard for your day, and in doing so, you eliminate the uncertainty that traps so many. Each morning becomes a victory over hesitation, an assertion that your life is directed by deliberate action rather than circumstance. The freedom experienced at dusk is not just practical, it is psychological. It is the satisfaction of knowing that you have invested in yourself, that your goals are progressing, and that your priorities have been honored. This freedom brings calm, confidence, and peace of mind. You are no longer a prisoner of time or circumstance, because you have already taken control when it mattered most. Discipline at dawn also multiplies opportunities. While others sleep, hesitate, or delay, those who rise early act, learn, and grow. This head start is invisible to the world, yet it compounds invisibly into long-term advantage. Over months and years, the small, consistent actions taken in the quiet morning hours differentiate the successful from the ordinary, the prepared from the reactive. Ultimately, discipline at dawn is a declaration of sovereignty over your life. It affirms that you will not be a passive participant, but an active architect of your destiny. By mastering the early hours, you gain control over the later hours, and this control translates into freedom, not the fleeting freedom of leisure or escape, but the enduring freedom of purpose, achievement, and self-mastery. Discipline at dawn creates freedom at dusk because it transforms potential into progress, chaos into order, and intention into action. Those who rise early, act decisively, and honor their commitments experience the day and the life on their terms. Every sunrise met with discipline is an investment in liberty, power, and opportunity, a reward that only those willing to sacrifice comfort for control ever truly claim. Success listens only to those awake to claim it. It does not wait patiently for the hesitant. It does not knock politely on the door of the indifferent. Success responds to action, to readiness, to relentless pursuit, and there is no greater test of readiness than the decision to rise early, to confront the day while the world is still asleep. Those who wake with purpose position themselves to hear opportunity's quiet call and to act decisively before anyone else even notices it exists. The early hours of the day are a proving ground. In the stillness before sunrise, distractions are minimal, and the mind is clear. It is a time when focus is undisturbed and energy is fresh. Those who are awake at this hour have a unique advantage. They are present, alert, and prepared to act while others are still negotiating with comfort, delaying action, and postponing responsibility. Success does not reward intention alone, it rewards preparation. Waking early is preparation in its purest form. It is a statement that you will not wait for conditions to be perfect, that you will not allow excuses to dictate your path, and that you are willing to invest effort before recognition, reward, or results arrive. This willingness signals to opportunity that you are serious, and it positions you to claim it before hesitation can interfere. Those who sleep in, surrendering their mornings to comfort and distraction, hand over their advantage to someone else. Every hour spent asleep when the world is quiet is an hour lost, a chance to think deeply, plan strategically, learn, and act. Success does not plead with those who are unprepared. It passes them by, leaving only regret and the lessons that come too late. The power of waking early is not in the hour itself, but in the momentum it creates. One disciplined morning begets another. One action inspires another. The small, consistent acts taken before sunrise compound over time, building skill, clarity, and resilience. Those who rise early are not merely moving ahead. They are creating a trajectory that carries them far beyond the reach of those still bound by delay. Success listens to those awake, because only the awake can recognize it when it arrives. Opportunities often come quietly, disguised as challenges, tasks, or responsibilities. Those who are alert see them, act on them, and convert them into achievement. Those who are asleep, distracted, or unprepared miss them entirely. This is why early rising is not just a habit. It is a gateway to influence, control, and achievement. Waking early also develops self-discipline. Every day presents the same choice, comfort, or purpose. Choosing purpose strengthens character, sharpens resolve, and builds confidence. When this choice is repeated consistently, it forms the mindset of a winner. This mindset, cultivated in silence and discipline, is what allows success to find you ready and willing. Moreover, early risers create a head start that compounds in ways that are invisible.